What's up, Prowl Nation, and welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. I'm Valerie Bordeaux, the Queen of the Prowl, and I'm stepping in for Curt Steele, our main man who is out basking on a boat in the Bahamas sun with his beautiful family, and it's an exciting week for all of us Lions fans. We got that draft coming up in a few days, and we've got some burning questions still left, like if Brad Holmes is going to surprise us with a pick none of us expect, or will his aggressive tendencies cause any concern? And what are our options when it comes to pick number 66? But before we get into all of that, let me bring in the rest of my crew. You all know him. It's Prince of the Prowl and that coach with a growl. Who? Coach Mike Jones.
Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fans?
And of course, we can't forget the king of the pride, where all the lionesses want to reside in his lair, LL Cool Torres.
What's up, Proud Nation? And good morning.
Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep.
Okay, welcome back to the show. I got an interesting thing that I want to bring up that I came across it for you to chew on, and I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but I would like for you to hear about it. I came across Brad Holmes' quote recently about what he wanted to look at as far as the pick for the number 2 spot. And, a lot of names have been coming up lately: Hutchinson, Hamilton, Thibodeau. These have all been mainstays for the past couple of weeks. But could he go and draft someone that we don't even expect at that spot? And I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I came across this quote that says, well, I'll keep it consistent. I've been saying all along that we're looking for a game changer at that pick, really at any picks. And I said all positions. So if that position is a quarterback, then it's a quarterback, just because often it's been stated that while picking up there, it's either going to be a quarterback or a pass rusher or a tackle and all that type of stuff. But look, I said from day one, give me a game changer at any position. And there are multiple positions where we do see those potential game changers that could be there in the future. Now, if you've noticed, he mentioned, everybody's been paying attention to the fact that he said game changer, difference maker, starter. And he also mentioned that, he did mention that quarterback, that pass rusher, that tackle. It's his Hutchinson, Hamilton, Willis, God forbid. Anyway, all those guys, but could he be picked? But he also noticed that he said he was looking for at multiple positions. So could he be picking up somebody that maybe Lewis Seen or Jaquan Brisker or somebody else that we're not even looking at the number 2 spot? And I wanted you to look at something, because I went down a rabbit hole. If you're like me, you like to go down rabbit holes and rabbit trails and conspiracy theories and stuff. And this is not necessarily conspiracy theory, but I was delving into, what has Brad Holmes done in the past? Now, last year it was kind of unfair because he kind of came in late, and I don't know how much influence he had in that draft, but I went back and I looked at the drafts that he had where he had picks in the first round. And that was way back with the Rams in 2015 and 2016, where, he had just become that new director of college scouting. So in those 2 drafts, who did he pick up? He picked up Todd Gurley in 2015, when everyone else thought that they were going to pick up an offensive tackle or an offensive guard at that time. Now, in the next year, he picked up Jared Goff. Now, and he traded up for that pick. He went from the 15th spot to the 1st spot to get Goff.
Ugh.
Now, he's never ever traded down, guys, that in his history of the draft. He's never ever traded down that I could find. Now, many of the later round draft picks that he's picked up throughout his time at the Rams were guys that did not necessarily do well at the combine and whose performances only needed minor tweaks. So could we be looking at somebody that he could be picking up that may not be a Thibodeau, may not be a Malik Willis, just somebody that's going to be a game changer starter that we're not necessarily paying attention to, but could be that Super Bowl guy, like most of his picks have been. Most of the picks that he's instrumental in had guys that were in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl within a couple of years after he drafted them. So what do you guys think?
I think the one player that sticks out to me is Drake London. I do think he could jump up and grab Drake London because Drake London is a strong physical receiver. He got speed. He can run the route tree. He's a guy who catches with his hands first. He's the prototypical number one receiver build, kind of like Devontae Adams, kind of, and I see him maybe going up to get Drake London. So that's my thoughts on that.
I can't think of a player who they might trade back, up in the first round to get. Maybe somebody like Drake London, maybe one of the defensive linemen that are sliding or something like that maybe nobody has picked up, or maybe one of the corners, or maybe one of the defensive backs that are sliding. But I honestly don't know. I don't know who they could trade back up for, or who they, what they gonna end up doing. Worst case scenario for me, we were saying earlier, at 2 would be a quarterback or maybe an offensive lineman. But other than that, I think everything is in play.
Yeah, I hope that he doesn't trade up, because the last time he traded up, it was for Jared Goff, and he gave up 4 picks and got 3, and then got Goff. So
he went to the Super Bowl that next year, though. So I mean,
yeah. So I mean, this is just with this caliber of draft, with the talent being at 11 level playing field, it could go in any direction, guys. And this is what makes this draft more exciting for Lions fans than ever before.
Right.
So, hey, if you like this content, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe button. Join the Prowl Nation. I hate that term subscriber, because that's not really what you guys are, but that's what YouTube designates you to be. But you're more than that to us. You're not a fan. You're not a subscriber. You're a family, and we'll get into more of that later on. So let's, Mike, what do you got on tap for us this week?
Yeah, so people, I read Jeremy Reisman's his article from Prior Detroit, and he was asking, is Brad Holmes too aggressive tendencies in the draft? Because last year he wanted to trade up to get Penei Sewell. He also wanted to trade to get Levi Onwuzurike, and John Dorsey was like, "Come on, just let's see how the dominoes fall," and and like that. And then he did actually trade back up into the 4th round to grab Amon-Ra St. Brown. So is he being too aggressive? And I say, hell no, he ain't being too aggressive. Because we want Brad Holmes, or we want the Lions historically to be aggressive in free agency, to be aggressive and grab players for 1, 2, 3 year contracts and pay them all this money. I like to see the aggressiveness in the draft. Right, you get guys for 4 years, sometimes 5 years if they're a first rounder, and the aggressiveness. If you see a player that you want, go get him. You know what I'm saying? But like Malcolm X said, by all means necessary, go get him then. And that's how I feel. If you truly believe in that player, so I just want to know, do you guys feel like he might be too aggressive in the draft, or how do y'all feel about that?
I love the fact that he could be aggressive in this draft, as long as he doesn't go over aggressive and cost us in the end. And because he's had some questionable moves at times, so I can see the argument for it. But then again, I would rather he be more aggressive and get aggressive players and build up this team the way it needs to be. Just focus on the defense, people. Just focus on the defense.
Yeah, I like what you said, Ms. Val. I'm more along the lines of that. I don't. Maybe I could see the argument though, because like you said, will it cost us in the end or something like that? So if John Dorsey wasn't there, or if Brad Holmes didn't necessarily want to listen to John Dorsey, we might end up with some of the same players, but the rest of the draft may not shake out the same way because we won't have some of the same picks available because we trade and moving around. So I could see what they mean by Willis' aggressiveness. Willis' aggressive tendencies hurt us because it could have had, what I'm saying, some players that he wanted to trade up to get, we didn't necessarily need.
I got a
But
question,
I think,
LL.
But let me get this out first.
Okay.
But that's all about having a draft team so somebody could be there for you. But go ahead.
Do you think that he should have been aggressive last year and went and got Jamar Chase? You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted to trade up to get Jamar Chase. Do you think he should have got it?
No, not for Jamar Chase, nor Penei Sewell, but I guess I like, at least the idea, like what y'all say, like if you see a player, go get him.
Right.
So that's what the whole thing is. That's what the whole argument is at two, like position of value or whatever it is. If you honestly feel that, I'm just using this as an example. If you think that a player like Kyle Hamilton is the player that you need, you won't be able to pick him at 4 or 7 or whatever it is. So if you got the pick at 2, you got to take him at 2. I only use that as an example.
That's a bad example.
No, it's not. If you say, oh, he should go at 9, we don't pick at 9, but we pick at 2. So if that's the player that you want, you got to do what you got. You got to get him when you can.
Well, you have to wonder how much influence he had with that draft last year, too. I mean, he may have wanted to go up for Jamar Chase, but was the decision already made for Penei Sewell, behind the scenes? And, that decision just wasn't even possible. So, that's what makes this whole thing very interesting, because we have no idea what to expect with Brad Holmes. And so, we just got to get ready and brace ourselves. And speaking of getting ready, why don't you head over to the fanatics.com and pick up that draft gear for your draft day, get yourself looking sharp. I mean, we're going live. So, and if you're a gold member, you can be up on the show with us, rocking that new Lions gear, even if you get some from our shop here at lionsontheprowlshop.com, Yeah. And if you're looking for a community, hey, Lions Nation Unite is the place to be. We're all in there. Game time. We're in the game chats, chatting it up, acting fools, having a blast. So, you got to come join us and hang out with the cool kids at the party. Okay.
Exactly.
So
enough with all that mess. But LL, what you got for us today?
Well, I would like to present some options that could be available for us to select in the 3rd round. Well, more specifically at pick number 66. These names come from ProwDetroit.com. They were having a community mock draft, and these are some of the options that they laid out. But I actually like a few of these options, so I want to present these to y'all and see what y'all thought. So some of the options that they give us are, I don't like all these options. Let me say that first. I don't like this one especially, but they have us, or some of the options. One of the options is quarterback Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. Another one is wide receiver.
That at 66.
Another one is wide receiver Khalil Shakur out of Boise State. Tight end Greg Dulcich, if I'm pronouncing that right, out of UCLA. Linebacker Channing Tindall out of Georgia. Cornerback Kobe Bryant out of Cincinnati. Safety Brian Cook, also out of Cincinnati. Safety Nick Cross out of Maryland. And finally, the last option that they give us is safety Kirby Joseph out of Illinois. I like a few of those names. I would not mind Brian Cook maybe. I think we're going to end up coming out of here with. I know I've made jokes at people who have us taking multiple safeties in their mocks, but I think that we may end up with 1 or 2 safeties in here. So I think Brian Cook would be an option. I don't mind Kobe Bryant as well. Cincinnati, both of their corners are pretty good, and of course, I know I'm not against drafting any of them Georgia Bulldogs, but especially not Channing Tindall. So what do you guys think?
You know what? That first pick, I don't know why you would hate Matt Corral if he fell to us in the 3rd round. That's not reaching up. That's like the boy white. He's not like, I would grab Matt Corral in the 3rd round. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, Only
Yeah, I don't think
if
that's a reach. No.
no, it's not. It's not at all.
I think
But
it's a bad pick because we could probably get a starting
no,
linebacker with
no,
Channing Tindall, but we're gonna get Matt Corral, who may not ever be anything in this league.
I'd
That's
rather
option.
build the defense. I'd rather build the defense.
I mean, me personally, I'd rather build the defense and get pieces sprinkled on offense. You know what I'm saying? But one person that I was hoping that you was gonna say was safety Verone McKinley from Oregon. That's one person I was hoping you were saying on there, and also Sky Moore, the receiver from Western Michigan. I believe that's where he's from. I was waiting for you to say one of those two names, you know what I'm saying? Because those are third round picks that's on my radar. That's on Mike Jones' radar. What about you, Val?
Well, I'm not really thrilled with any of those picks, and I'm especially not thrilled with the Illinois pick, Kirby Joseph. Trust me, I'm an Illini fan. There is nothing good that comes out of Illini football, okay? It just does not happen. Please do not go that direction. You do not want that mess, okay? I mean, I remember when Jim was so excited about one of the guys from Illini that would come on the team. I said, y'all don't want him. And sure enough, he proved me right. So
the running back?
Yeah, I forget his name now, but
Mikael LaSure.
Yeah, LaSure.
Yeah.
I said, oh, he sucks. And Jim's like, really? And I'm like, oh, yes, he is. Oh, shit. You know. So anyway, yeah. No, actually, if it were up to me, I'd want this entire draft to be 100% defense. I don't want to see an offensive player on the team. But it's time for us to shut our mouths because, you know, we're only voicing our opinion. And, you know, what's more important is that your guys' opinions. So we're going to get into that with the comment cards right now. First one up is from Johnny Appleseed. And he says, finally, some intelligent, interesting commentary on Lions football. Most of the stuff out there is just commentators and our creators saying dumb bleep, pretending to have something of value just to say for the clicks. And, you know, that's the one thing that we've always focused on here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. It is not my voice. It is not LL's voice. It is not Coach Mike Jones' voice. It is not Curt Steele's voice. The voice has always been the voice of the fans. You guys are the stars of this show. We don't believe in hot takes just to get clicks. We're here to be a community of Lions fans who want to just talk about football. And this is the place where you can just forget about everything else, have fun, share your opinions. You don't have to worry about getting fact checked. You know, we're here for you anytime you want.
I agree with that, Johnny Appleseed. I'm 100%. That's what drew me to this channel over a few other ones, because it was like I said, like I would watch some of these guys and think like, are y'all even fans? But thanks for that comment, Johnny Appleseed. Tony Blumenshire, friend of the show, says, I would really like to get Jalen Petrie, maybe with our second round pick. What do you think? What do you think of him? I like to get a linebacker and a safety somehow or anyhow. Jalen Petrie, he's more of a, from what I understand, he's more of like an in the box safety, like a going forward safety. I think we already got two of those. So maybe he's a developmental pick, but not in the second round, of course. But there are some safety options out there that I think we're going to come away with. Like I said, maybe at least one, but maybe two of them this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at Petrie, just not in the second round.
Yeah.
But yeah. Joseph Murdoch. What's up, Joseph? He says there's a lot of different opinions on who the Lions will draft at if they stay at 2. I've been trying to figure it out. Me too. And after watching a billion mock drafts, I'm just as confused as I was before I started watching mock drafts of this year's draft. Yeah, me too, man. I don't know. My conclusion is that Holmes is going to shock some fans with the picks. Most will be saying, holy shit. I mean, you know, my bad. I didn't mean to say that, but what a draft. Others will be saying, as they do every draft, same old Lions. I'm looking forward to seeing how this draft turns out. This is not going to be your typical draft, and there's only one thing that's for certain. That is the only one thing that's for certain. Yeah, I'm interested. We've all done this mock draft. Like I've gone 50 million different ways with the picks from Malik Willis to trading back to get Kyle Hamilton to taking Thibodeau to taking Hutchinson to taking Trayvon Walker to trading back and taking Devin Lloyd. So I've done it, man. I'm guilty as anybody else, man, because we all just want this draft to get here.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Now, Jaquise Phipps here says, if Hutch is gone at 1, I'd rather the Lions take Jermaine Johnson over Walker and Tibbs, because to me, he's more pro-ready, and you're not hearing any issues about his lack of motor or his inexperience on the field compared to Tibbs and Walker. I'd rather draft a quarterback next year, because why take a gamble on a quarterback this draft when there's no clear number 1 choice of quarterback like Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence? If not Johnson at 2, take the Devin Lodi or a D-back or an O-line, because those are the BPA. I was with you till the end there, but you're I can see. I don't know if I would take Jermaine Johnson over Walker and Tibbs at 2, but I could see where, you bring in the argument about his, the lack of motor experience on the field. And, I've already expressed my own arguments about that one, but I'll leave that one alone right now. And of course, I've always said, build the team first, and then put in your quarterback and your wide receivers as the shiny weapons. I think that if drafting a quarterback this year would set the team back. So no, I'm not for that at all. So, it is what it is. We've all got our own choices of what we want. And the reality is it's going to be what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell want.
Yep.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Al Irby Jr. says we need, in all caps, might I add, we need to give Kaepernick a shot at backup quarterback. Maybe. I'm not against it. As long as it's a team friendly deal. And I mean, look at the guys we already got. So,
Yeah, that I was on that train about 4 years ago, but now
No, I'm not on that train.
Nah, not at all. Big Topper. I swear Coach Jones sounded like a lion growling with the at the start. I don't even know what you're talking about. I have to watch the tape. In fact, he does that growl a lot. Who? Coach Jones. Hey, maybe that's just meant to be, man. I didn't know I was growling, but hey.
We get that comment a lot. I moderate the live chat, and we get comments of like they love this growl that you've got, and so they make comments about it every show. So,
really? Okay.
Yep, every show. That's why I introduced you as the Prince of the Prowl and the Coach of the Growl.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know.
So that's where that came from. So now, since Curt's not here, we're not going to have any dessert this week whatsoever. Shame on me, huh? But at least I can give you something a little bit sweet, coming up into this draft. We're going live Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and gold members will get to come join the party. We're going to be having some drinking games. You never know how bad this might go for me. So, this could be a whole lot of fun. So if you're not a gold member, go ahead and click that join button below the video. And if you become a gold member, you'll be able to get access to that link and come join us at the party and get instructions on what to do. So this is going to be really fun and interesting to see where this is going to go, because this has been one of the most divisive drafts I've seen it for the Lions in a while.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to take a walk over to the Wall of Fame, and now I'm not going to be able to do it as well.
Wall of Fame, baby. That's how Curt.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it as well as Curt, y'all. So forgive me, but I'll try to make it a little bit fun if I can. Well, our bronze members are Detroit Drew, Midwest Lion, Latino Leo, Brian Stover, Jimbo G, David Anderson, Sage Roberts, Shano Insano, Bob Korzowski, Crystal Wiley, Bubba Bo, John Kapler, Bo Gagrius. Yes, I've always been able to say that name correctly. Justin 10K, our boy Jeremy, Smoking Jeremy B, Everything King, and Doug Prince 12. And our silver members, we've got the wonderful Nomus J, Jason Portis, Cap Ice Cold, the Batman of the 313. Hope you come and save this draft. John Martin, Go Lions, Mr. Scotty the Bear, the Frenchman, and all that. Shannon Peck and Andrew Wallace. And for our gold members rounding this out, we've got, hold on, wow, my thing is messed up. North End Ken, Justin the Deed, Michael Huck, Larry McQuiston, Tornado, Turner C. Burley, Michael Lewis, Dominic Davis, my girl, Lionara Douchebagia, who is so fun in taking the name I gave her, Randall Flag 606, Miles Gibb, and of course, the Doctor. The Doctor is always in. So with all of that being said, this is going to be a real interesting draft. I can't wait for this over. We are so sick and tired of talking about all the mock drafts and all of that hot mess. So, let's just, hope for the best and trust in Holmes and trust that process, like he said. So we're just going to go right into our final thoughts. Mike, what do you have for your final thoughts today?
If the Lions, I just don't want anybody to be like, oh no, the Lions, they did that, because Brad Holmes is one of the best at picking on college talent. He's done it for a few years at the Rams, and he usually does a good job. So the one thing is be prepared for Malik Willis at 2.
No, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I rebuke that.
Be prepared for Malik Willis at 2. It might not happen. I'm just saying, be prepared, be ready. It might happen.
Nope, I rebuke that. LL, come on, give us some good positive vibes to wash that evil away.
Man, oh man, that's probably the only pick that I will really be upset at 2. But happy Monday. Have a great Monday. Eat some good food, and draft this Thursday, man. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. So, we'll see y'all, we'll see what happens. And of course, be kind.
Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you to the Prowl Nation family. You guys rock with us every single day, support us, and stick with us. You guys are a ride or die, and we could not do this show without you. So I just want to say that I appreciate you all very much for all the love and support you show every single day for us. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to try to do my best Curt here. So let's see how this one goes. So okay, you all ready? So wipe crumbs off your face, finish your drink, and get back to work. And whatever you do in life, you've got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. And we'll holler at you real soon. We love you, Jim.